welcome to WSFD News. Today our main topic is climate and climate change.
Now with Fernanda Perini.
No matter where you are, the weather changes every day. Climate, on the other hand, is the long-term weather pattern in an area. Latitude is the distance from the equator measured in degrees. Based on it, Earth's surface can be divided in three types of temperature zones. There are tropical zones, polar zones, and temperature zones. In tropical zones, the climate there is warm because of the direct or nearly direct sunlight given all year. In temperature zones, the climate changes from warm or hot in summer to cool or cold in winter. Most of the west coast of North America, South America, and Europe have marine climates, which have mild winters and cool summers. Most of Canada, Russia, and central United States have continental climates, which makes winters cold and while summers warm or hot. Some warm ocean currents moved up from the tropicals to the poles.
That was good.
Now with Sofia Grael.
Hello, I'm Sofia Grael, and I'm going to talk about climate regions. Scientists classify climate by two major factors, precipitation and temperature. There are 6 main climate regions that are temperate marine, temperate continental, dry, tropical rainy, polar, and highlands. In tropical rainy, there is a big chance of rain. There are 2 types of rainy climates, tropical wet and tropical wet and dry. In tropical wet, there are many rainy days and thunderstorms. In tropical wet and dry, it rains less. And Manaus in Brazil is an example of tropical rain.
A climate is dry if the amount of precipitation that falls is less than the amount of water that could potentially evaporate.
Dry climate include arid and semi-arid. Semi-arid is located at the edges of the deserts and the rainfall is enough to grow grass and low bushes. The arid is cold and rocky and it rains rarely. Cairo in Egypt is an example of dry climate, and in dry climate only specialized plants can grow there because it's really dry, and like cactus and yucca. Temperate marines along the continent's coast. There are 3 types of temperate marine: humid subtropical, marine west coast, and Mediterranean. The humid subtropical is the warmest. It's wet and warm, but not constantly hot as the tropics. It has mixed vegetations. Marine west coast is the coolest. The winters are mild and rainy. Forests and big and tall trees grow in that area. Mediterranean during the summers is warm and dry, and the winters is cool and rainy. The vegetation has small trees. Buenos Aires in Argentina is an example of temperate marine. Temperate continental commonly have extremes of temperature. There are 2 types of temperate continental: humid continental and subarctic. The humid continental shifts temperature. In the summer is warm and wet.
Subarctic climate lie north of the humid continental climate. An example of temperate continental is Chicago in USA.
The polar climate is the coldest of all the climate regions. It includes tundra and ice cap climates. The tundra has short and cool summers and long and very cold winters. The ice cap land is covered with ice and snow. The air is so cold that it's very dry.
The intense cold makes the air very dry. Antarctica is an example of polar climate.
Highlands is considered a climate region because as the altitude increases, the temperature decreases. So the highlands is colder than the area surrounding. Highlands stay on top of mountains. Mexico City is an example of highlands. Back to you, Daisy.
That was a very good explanation.
Now with Daisy Luanda.
Hi, my name is Daisy Huang and today I'm talking about changes in climate. Well, there are three sources of ancient climates. They are pollen, tree rings, and ice core. Pollen has many flowers, but each flower has its own pollen. Some lake bottoms have pollen, so scientists drill down to get some sample to examine it. The other source is tree ring. Tree rings are layered under the tree bark. This layer forms a ring around it. A ring represents how long the tree have been there. Scientists study the tree by using the tree ring. By using the rings, studied by the rings, they can see if the ears were wet or dry, cool or warm. The last source is the ice core. The ice core has layer around it like the tree rings, but it does. But scientists study the layer to know the Earth records. Well, the climate change exploration include the movement of the continents, variation in the position of Earth relative to the sun energy, major volcanic eruptions, and changes in the sun energy outputs. Movement contents. 200 million years ago, Earth land was part of a single continent that was called Pangaea. Pangaea, like continents that now are in polar zone, were once near the equator. And if the continents continue moving, the climate will continue changing. Volcanic eruption. When the volcano erupts, it releases a huge quantity of ash and aerosol in our atmosphere. They can stay for months or years. So scientists think that aerosol and the ash can reflect some of the incoming solar radiation and can lower our temperature. Solar energy is the amount of light given by the sun. This amount changes over 11 year cycle. The Little Ice Age was caused by a decrease in the sun's energy output. The Earth position as Ice Age. The angle of Earth axis and the shape of the Earth orbits affects the Earth climate. When Earth orbit is more elliptical, less sunlight reaches Earth during the year. This change caused the experience of Ice Age. And now we feel Sophia.
That was great. Now we Sama Sabra.
Hello, I'm Sama Sabra and I'm going to talk about human activities and climate change. You may not realize it, but we are a powerful geologic force. We can change the land, air, and water faster than most geologic processes. In fact, human activities are causing a major change in temperature of the Earth's atmosphere, and it's important for us to understand this impact because the atmosphere controls our climate and weather. Now I'm going to talk a little about the greenhouse effect. The greenhouse effect is a natural process by which the atmosphere keeps Earth's surface warm. When the sun warms Earth's surface, this heat is radiated back to space as infrared waves. These infrared waves pass easily through nitrogen and oxygen. However, the greenhouse gases such as water vapor, carbon dioxide, and methane absorb heat that is leaving Earth's surface. These gases then radiate some energy back toward Earth, trapping heat in the lower atmosphere. We need the greenhouse effect. It is vital for life on Earth. Many human activities are increasing the level of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere and producing changes in climate worldwide. This increase is causing global temperatures to rise. One of the most abundant greenhouse gases is carbon dioxide. We release billions of tons of carbon dioxide by burning fossil fuels. Over the past 800,000 years, global temperatures have gone up and down. Scientists look at past events to predict the possible effects of global warming. The effects of global warming include melting glaciers, rising sea level, drought, desertification, changes to the biosphere, and regional changes in temperature. Global warming is part of a larger set of changes to the Earth's climate that together are called climate change. Scientists have evidence that mountain glaciers are melting worldwide. Since the end of the last ice age, sea levels have risen 122 meters. As glaciers continue to melt, the sea level continues to rise. This rise poses a great threat to a large number of people who live near the ocean. Scientists think human activities that release greenhouse gases are responsible for our recent episode of global warming. The solution might sound simple: reduce greenhouse gas emissions, but how do we do that? Solutions for limiting global warming and climate change include finding clean, renewable sources of energy, being more energy efficient, and removing carbon from fossil fuel emissions. Clean energy refers to energy sources that release very small amount of greenhouse gases. For example, solar, wind, hydroelectric, geothermal, nuclear, and tidal energy. One of the best ways for limiting global warming is using more energy-efficient technologies. For example, clean energy power plants can power electric and hydrogen fuel cell cars, and also factories can run on steam from power plants. We can also practice energy-efficient habits. For example, when leaving a room, we can turn off the lights, or we can use public transportation. Now, technologies are being developed so that they can remove carbon dioxide from exhaust. Exhaust is released when fossil fuels are burned. After the carbon is removed, it could then be buried underground. This process takes a little more energy and is a bit more expensive, but the result is that fewer greenhouse gases are released. And now back to Dave.
That was very good.
And this was our edition for today. See you tomorrow at SS17 News. Good night.
Good night.
Weather changes every day. Become high low all the way. Climate is a long-term weather pattern in everybody has its own climate area. Temperature changes cause evaporation, precipitation. Each weather has its own case.